welcome you inside of Schuford Gymnasium in this presentation of the South Atlantic Conference on the Bears Sports Network, presented by MBA Roofing. One of the oldest rivalries in the SAC renewed again for the 80th time today as the Carson-Newman Eagles traveled about 2.5 hours southeast here to Hickory to take on the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears. As we welcome you courtside, Eric Bach, Chris Rickenbaugh, delighted you're with us on this Saturday afternoon inside the shoe. So for LR, it's been a weird month. They took 23 days off over the holiday break because of a COVID pause. They went into the holiday break with a momentum-building win over Newberry, and then after the break on Wednesday, they lost a close 2-point game to UVA-Wise, a little bit shorthanded in that game. A couple people back that didn't play in that game will be back today. They just felt like they left a lot out there on Wednesday. But today, a good measuring stick game against the reigning SAC champion in Carson-Newman, a team that the Bears have already lost to this year by 15 up in Jefferson City, Tennessee. So a good measuring stick game to see where the Bears are moving into 2022. And for the Eagles on the flip side, the reigning SAC champs, they've been to 4 straight NCAA tournaments. Mike Mincy in his 11th year has really got this program rolling. But they did have a disappointing end to last year when they got bounced in the first round of both the SAC tournament and the NCAA tournament. So a little bit of revenge tour season this year for Carson-Newman. Speaking of revenge, they got a big revenge road win over Catawba on Wednesday evening. That was the team that they lost to in the NCAA tournament. They've got the reigning SAC Player of the Year in Braylon Weichel, and we will talk about her throughout the broadcast as we take a look at our keys to the game presented by our friends at Fry Regional Medical Center. And Chris, these are the things that Graham Smith thought that the Bears needed to do better to win the Wise game on Wednesday night, and they'll try to do these things today against Carson-Newman.
Yeah, absolutely. The biggest thing I saw was rebounding. The Bears are averaging 38 rebounds per game, and that led to 16 second-chance points on Wednesday, and that's going to be huge in today's game with this strong, powerful scoring offense of Carson-Newman. So getting those second-chance points and getting those rebounds. Mallory Sherrill had 10 rebounds in her first start of the season, had a really good day. Only 4 points, 2 assists, but Brandy Hudson had 27 points, 5 rebounds and 2 steals, and a huge breakout game on Wednesday.
So those are your keys to the game presented by Fry Regional Medical Center. We'll take a short break, come right back with the starting lineups here inside the shoe on the Bears Sports Network.
If you play hard, if you use your feet to chase fitness goals, if you stand all day at work, introducing True Energy Infrared Technology Socks. These may be the best socks you ever wear. Our yarn is infused with infrared nanoparticles. Your body's natural heat ignites these tiny particles, producing infrared energy that improves circulation and stimulates cellular recovery. It's not magic, it's rocket science. The perfect sock for your active life, for fitness, performance, recovery. Proven innovation to ignite your true energy.
Paramount Kia in Hickory. We want to see you driving a new Kia or, hey, a quality pre-owned Kia. We've got a huge selection of new and pre-owned Kias. You got to get to Paramount Kia in Hickory, Highway 70, ParamountKia.com.
Moret Stadium is an iconic part of LR athletics, hosting games, tailgating, marching band competitions, sports camps, and graduation ceremonies. The stadium serves as a valued focal point for the greater Hickory area. The time has come to renovate the stadium to allow LR to continue to offer our student athletes, fans, and the community an exceptional experience.
Emergencies don't wait. Get to the hospital. Accidents happen. Get well soon. When it hurts to move forward, tackle your pain. Don't make your health wait. See your doctor. Your health means everything.
Welcome back inside the shoe. just minutes away from tip-off here between Carson-Newman and Lenoir-Rhyne as we take a look at our starting lineups presented by Everett Chevrolet. Ready for a nicer, newer ride? Everett Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac is always here to help by providing family-friendly customer care since 1967. Visit them in person at one of their 2 convenient locations in Hickory and Morganton, or start your search online at everettchevy.com today. It's about a 9-person rotation for Carson-Newman, but these are the 5 that you'll see. Addison Bird, Braylon Weichel, Campbell Penland, Lindsey Taylor, who torched the Bears in the first meeting, and Skylar Boshears rounds out the Carson-Newman starting lineup as we take a look at the LR starting lineup. One change, Tatum McBride gets her first start of the season in the backcourt with Emily Harmon. Brandy Hudson, who had a career-high 27 points in the loss to Wise on Wednesday night, starts in the front court. Obviously, Emily Harmon, she'll be in every starting lineup as long as she's healthy. Maddie Dillinger is one of the players that the Bears get back tonight after she missed last game. She was available, but it was her first day out of COVID protocols, and so she's at basically 100%, they say today. And Blakely Crooks, who also had a decent game on Wednesday, is in the starting lineup as well. As we take a look now at our head-to-head matchup in this game, it's one of the best ones you'll see in the entire league. You got the reigning SAC Player of the Year on your left in Braylon Weichel, and the reigning SAC Freshman of the Year in Emily Harmon, Chris, on the right.
Yeah, the biggest stats is the rebounds per game and the free throws. Emily Harmon, elite on the free throw line, 91%, and you can see 7.3 rebounds per game, which is huge. Harmon coming off, or her stats on the season, 16 points per game, and then you can see the rebounds per game, but she has 67 defensive rebounds on the season, so she's better rebounding on the defensive side, and that's what they're going to need huge today against the Eagles.
Weichel, second in the SAC in scoring at 19.5 points per game. She's following up her Player of the Year season with another great year for the Eagles. We'll take one more break, and then we have tip-off between Carson-Newman and Lenoir-Rhyne coming up in just a couple minutes on the Bears Sports Network.
Hey Bears fans, Dave here with Everett Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac, your local hometown dealer since 1967. Come see us in Hickory or Morganton to check out all of GM's hottest new products, the area's largest selection of pre-owned vehicles, and service you can depend on. Visit us online at everettchevy.com. Good luck to the Bears this season, and remember, if you didn't get an Everett deal, you didn't get a deal at all. Go Bears!
Celebrate great with Carolina West Wireless. Great new phones and a great customer experience, all on our great nationwide high-speed network. Stop by today and get big savings on select Samsung smartphones, like $350 off the Samsung Galaxy S20 and S20 Plus, and $350 off the Note 20 and Note 20 Ultra. The great savings continue with 4 lines of unlimited data for just $35 a month per line. Celebrate great savings and go stay connected wherever your travels take you.
Doesn't matter who you are, Everett has you covered. Proud sponsor of the LR Bears.
Just moments away from tip-off here inside Schuford Gymnasium on the Bears Sports Network, presented by MBA Roofing. Eric Bach and Chris Rickenbaugh, delighted you're along with us for this rivalry game on this January Saturday afternoon inside the Shoe. Bears starting lineups getting announced right now. This is actually the first time Carson-Newman has been to Hickory to play the Bears since January of 2020, so it's been over 2 calendar years. 4 straight meetings in this series have taken place in Jefferson City, Tennessee. Carson-Newman, oddly enough, has played in Hickory this season. They opened their season here in the SAC Peach Belt crossover. They split those 2 games, lost a hard-fought game in the season opener to Lander, who's a top 5 program in the country, and then they beat the brakes off of USC Aiken to finish off that event. But the first time Carson-Newman's here to play the Bears inside Schufer Gymnasium in over 2 calendar years. So the reigning SAC champs are ready to roll. We'll see if the Bears are up to the challenge today. They feel like they're finally getting back on track now after the COVID pause. They had 4 games postponed over the holiday break, but they're back at full strength today and ready to give the Eagles their best shot. It's the freshman Dillinger and the junior Taylor will jump it up. And off we go. First of 2 today between Lenoir-Rhyne and Carson-Newman on the Bears Sports Network. We're glad you're here with us. Blakely Crooks, who had 8 first-half points and traveled there to start this one, but she had a really good offensive first half against UVA Wise and quieted down in the second half. So,
yeah, it looked like she was looking for McBride, but Carson-Newman is going to score, so is Lenoir-Rhyne going to be able to keep up? Averaging 82 points per game is Carson-Newman, and they're going to put 2 on the board already.
Skylar Boshears with the shot. The junior from La Follette, Tennessee, averages just under 10 a game for the Eagles. Hayden McBride gets the start. Senior from Pleasant Hill, Ohio. There's Brandy Hudson, her first touch, coming off 27 points and has the first Bear 2 of this game. Before that 27-point output for Brandy, her career high in the Bear uniform was 18 against Carson-Newman, as Boshears is 2 for 2 from the field. And Carson-Newman leads it by a bucket, but Hudson had 18 points in that 15-point Bear loss on December 1st over in Jefferson City, Tennessee.
Don't be shocked to see if they start going to McBride really early. She's really comfortable beyond the arc. So swinging the ball outside and creating some space, but that's going to go off the foot of a Bear.
Well, I think they're about to give the ball back to the Bears as it went off the foot of Taylor, I think, down there, and they correctly change it with 9 on the shot clock. Emily Harmon will trigger. She's coming off not a great offensive game by her standards, 12 points, but only 4 of 16 shooting. There's a held ball as Penland tied up Maddie Dillinger, and the ball will go back to the Eagles. Michael looks in for Taylor. The pass was almost too tall. Boshears already has the first 4 and misses her first shot off the heel.
The Bears are just letting the Eagles have way too much space. Their defense, it looks like they're playing a zone, and they're just playing very loose.
Down on the floor with it is Addison Bird, and another held ball will go back to LR. With a shot clock reset for the Bears. Bears were very productive off these inbound plays as Harmon swishes her first jumper of the night. Good for her to see the first one go down after she struggled shooting the ball on Wednesday night.
Yeah, watch out if Emily Harmon starts to get hot early. That could be big trouble for the Eagles.
Should take a look at the Spangler replay. All replays presented by our friends at Spangler Restoration, but the Bears once again get a bucket off a baseline inbound play. And a steal for Harmon out of the top of the zone. Emily coast to coast drops it in off the glass.
Yeah, 2 steals on Wednesday, already off to 1 early in this first quarter for Harmon.
A little bit of a wrinkle for Graham Smith to start in a zone. Haven't seen that much this year from the Bears. As Bird gets an open look and buries it.
Yeah, that's gonna be something that I think we might see change at halftime. The Eagles have just way too much space, and being a shooting team, that's gonna be really tough to defend in that zone, playing a little bit loose.
Hard screen from Hudson. Dillinger, the leading rebounder on this team, who traveled, moved that pivot foot, they say. So the Bears had cleaned up their turnovers a bit before the pause, but turned it over a few too many times on Wednesday night. Talked with Graham Smith about the game in general and just said it's a cliche to say as Harmon grabs another steal and another bucket. So 2 run-out layups for Emily Harmon, and she's got 6 of the Bear 8 here in the first 3+ minutes. But as Weichel will take a 3, miss it off the right iron, a physical rebound by Hudson, but she gets whistled for the foul. But take a look at the Spangler replay. Almost an identical steal and layup for Emily Harmon as she had earlier in the quarter. Talking with Graham Smith about the Wednesday night game. Says it's cliche to say, but it's such a game of inches. And it really is. The Bears just couldn't find the inches. Missed a few free throws late as Crooks takes a long 2. It misses long. And Taylor grabs the rebound. She's the leading shooter in the SAC is Lindsey Taylor as Boshear's shot got partially blocked. And here come the Bears on a run out. Harmon pulls up and her shot gets rejected by Campbell Penland. So
I was expecting her to kind of settle down and look for the offense, but obviously off of 2 fast breaks, she was looking to score.
Hudson gets an easy bucket off the inbound. That's 2 baseline inbound plays for the Bears and 2 buckets here in the first quarter.
Yeah, Bears playing a lot faster in that it looks like the defense, they're just not allowing them to get down low.
Weichel hit plus a foul. McBride reached in and hit the reigning SAC Player of the Year on the arm, and her first 2 drops in. She'll have a chance for the old-fashioned three-point play. You saw in the open, she's one of the best free throw shooters in the league at 86%. Nothing but net. And Carson-Newman will extend a little bit of full-court pressure here after the and 1. Crooks dribbles through it. Gets trapped in the corner and stepped out of bounds. So already 3 turnovers here. That was actually the 4th turnover for the Bears in the first 4.5 minutes. They averaged just under 20 turnovers a game, a number that keeps coaches up at night. And Graham Smith is no exception to that. They feed Taylor. She had an open look, gives it off to Bird, who was able to put in a much tougher look, and Carson-Newman takes the lead back at 11-10. And then a steal for Weichel. She pulls up, missed it way short, and the ball will go back to LR as Bird knocks it out.
Yeah, LR looked really, really good off the start and started to get comfortable here in that last minute with Carson-Newman shooting 45% from the field and 32% on the three-point line. It's going to be tough to defend, but Hudson, a quick layup. That's going to be 6 points on the day for her in the first 5 minutes.
6 for Hudson, 6 for Harmon. The only 2 Bears that have scored, the 2 leading scorers on this team. Taylor got in an uncomfortable spot and an air ball on the 3 there from Campbell Penland, who shoots it at 32% from the outside, but comes up empty that time. An action-packed first 5.5 minutes here inside the shoe. 1-point lead for the Bears over Carson-Newman on the Bears Sports Network.
Hometown Ticketing makes it fast and easy to buy tickets on your school's website or in the new Hometown Fan app. It's simple. Just search for your school, buy your tickets, and they'll be right there in your account, ready to be scanned when you get to your event. Download the Hometown Fan app today.
Back inside the shoe on the Bears Sports Network, presented by MBA Roofing. An early 1-point lead for Lenoir-Rhyne over Carson-Newman. In the 80th matchup between these two, Carson-Newman has won 6 straight and 10 out of 11. Only Bear win in that time frame came in 2018 up in Jefferson City's. Hannah Stoll has checked into the game for the Bears along with Megan Lancetal. Hannah Stoll, what a great story. 13 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 steals in her first action for the Bears on Wednesday night. She feeds Dillinger, who pivots. Shot got partially blocked, but it almost spun in. And the rebound to Carson-Newman.
You saw she wanted to go low, but she stayed up high, and that's something we've wanted to see all season, so it'll be interesting to see how that develops through the season.
They're still in the zone. Harley Smith, 0-0 in the game, as Weichel buries a 3 from the right corner. She's a 40% three-point shooter.
Yeah, I think Graham Smith is going to take that, make him shoot those 3 points, and I think that's probably the biggest reason they're in that zone. Make them shoot those 3-point shots. Shooting 32% on the season compared to 45% from the field.
There's a foul on Harley Smith off the ball as she held one of the Bear cutters. Just the first foul on Carson-Newman. Bears only have 2 fouls against them. Hudson in the short corner hands it off to Harmon, who will reset with 15 on the shot clock. Lancetal, who made her first bucket since the opener on Wednesday, gets it to Dillinger, whose shot got bothered. And a rebounding foul on Brandy Hudson. Oh, wow. I don't know about that one.
Yeah, she
just grabbed the ball.
Yeah, she's not very happy about that one.
That's the second on Hudson, and both of them have been rebounding fouls, as she's got to stay in the game now as they don't get her in the game. She thought she was coming out, and knocking down the shot there is Michaela Alvey. That was a lot of confusion there as Hudson thought she was coming out of the game. Tilda Lindstrom was at the scorer's table for her as Harmon gets bothered. The ball is loose, and a 10-second call on the Bears as that's another turnover. But that last sequence was weird because Hudson thought she was coming out. The officials didn't bring Lindstrom in, so Hudson was standing by the bench just not even participating in the play, and Carson-Newman got a bucket out of it.
Yeah, I don't think the officials motioned that the subs could come in.
And they just put the ball in before anyone was ready, so that's not good officiating there on all fronts. Weichel a 3 from the left wing. She's got another 9 first-half points here for Braylon Weichel, including back-to-back threes.
Yeah, a couple series of events right there. I think LR just needs to take a breath, play their game.
Stoll, offensive foul, they say.
Yeah, that was a pretty heavy hit right there.
Yeah. So Stoll just a little bit out of control there. Gets whistled for the foul. So the 4th on the Bears. Take a look at the Spangler replay.
Oh, yeah.
Sydney Pierce in the game for the first time in the front court for Carson-Newman. Weichel drives, pulls up, gets the roll off front iron, and all of a sudden she's into double figures now with 11 points here in the first quarter. The lead is 9 for Carson-Newman, by far the biggest it's been. There's a steal. Alvey running out and missing the layup, and Harmon grabs it. Good defense there by Harmon to bother that shot by Alvey there at the last second. Long 2 for Emily is pure. She's got 8 points now. Her and Hudson still the only 2 Bears that have scored.
Yeah, Harmon's really good when they can play fast, and she's starting to turn this game into a track meet.
Bad pass there for Carson-Newman as Harley Smith couldn't handle it. In the 3rd Eagle turnover of the first quarter.
Yeah, expect this to slow down here in the last 2 minutes. Lots of running. Emily Harmon plays really, really well when the game is fast. She can create her own space, but setting up the play, it makes it a little bit more difficult.
Tilda Lindstrom. Her and Dillinger were the 2 main players that missed the Wednesday game as Weichel steals that bad pass and has the layup on the run out.
Yeah, Bears are lucky that wasn't an and one, but yeah, 13 points on the day. She had 14 against Catawba on Wednesday in that overtime game.
Harmon dumps it off for Dillinger, who got blocked. Back to Harmon, who drops it in. Emily's into double figures now with 10 on 5 of 6 shooting. She's already made more buckets in this game than she did the entire game against UVA Wise. Smith, a deep 3 off left iron. Lidstrom wisely lets it go. The ball will go back to LR, but Weichel with 13 points, just 3 less than the entire Bear team here in the first quarter. Also 3 assists and a couple of steals for the reigning SAC Player of the Year, the junior from Greenville, Tennessee. A recruiting win for Mike Mincy right under the nose of Tusculum. Obviously, Tusculum is in Greenville. And Stahl fouled there by Alvey. They actually call it on Weichel. I thought they called it on Alvey, but they call it on Braylon, her first. Just the second on Carson-Newman. As they're resetting the shot clock here. Should have been 20 after the foul in the front court on Carson-Newman.
Only 2 players have scored for the Bears right now, Harmon and Hudson. Harmon with 10, 3 rebounds and 2 assists, 2 steals. So she's stacking up some stats here early.
Our head-to-head matchup right on point. Harmon's floater drops in. What a first quarter for Emily Harmon. She's keeping the Bears in it right now as Carson-Newman looks to push, and then they turn it over. So, bit of a momentum turn there perhaps for the Bears.
Yeah, Sydney Pierce I thought would be a bigger factor in this game, being the 6'3" senior. She's definitely a lot taller than anybody else on the court. I think Carson-Newman is, when they start to slow down later, she's going to be a bigger factor in the game.
Lancetto will take a long 2. Rebound grabbed by Smith. About a 6-second difference. Actually, the shot clock should be off. Carson-Newman takes a 3 and misses it. Ball's tipped around and grabbed by Lancetto, who turns it over but then steals it right back. A run-out opportunity for Stoll. If she can run it down, she can, but she tried to give it off to Dillinger. And the ball was deflected by Penland. So with 6.6 on the clock, the Bears will have an opportunity for the final look of this first quarter. As they're trying to turn the shot clock off, as the shot clock reads 12 and there's only 6.6 left in the quarter. There we go. Bears already have a couple of buckets off of baseline out-of-bounds plays. See if they can get a third one here. Stoll doesn't get the roll, and now a chance for Alvey with 2. Heaves a half-court shot, but it's well off to the left. And what a first quarter it was. Carson-Newman, both teams actually shoot 50% or better. Carson-Newman 10 for 20 from the field. Bears 9 of 16 from the field. As we take a look at Emily Harmon's first quarter, 12 points, 3 rebounds, 2 steals on 6 made buckets. She was only 4 for 16 from the floor on Wednesday, but off to a 6 for 7 shooting start here this afternoon. The Bears are going to need every single one of those points as we go down the stretch. A 5-point lead for Carson-Newman after 1 on the Bears Sports Network.
If you play hard, if you use your feet to chase fitness goals, if you stand all day at work, introducing True Energy infrared technology socks. These may be the best socks you ever wear. Our yarn is infused with infrared nanoparticles. Your body's natural heat ignites these tiny particles, producing infrared energy that improves circulation and stimulates cellular recovery. It's not magic, it's rocket science. The perfect sock for your
Second quarter about to roll inside the shoe. 5-point lead for Carson-Newman over Lenoir-Rhyne in the 80th meeting between these two longtime SAC rivals. Bears looking for their 30th win in the series here this afternoon. Good first quarter offensively for Emily Harmon. 12 points, Tilda Lindstrom will take a three straight away, miss it short. Rebound grab by Lindsay Taylor.
Yeah, we saw in the first quarter both teams playing really, really fast, and I don't think that's going to be a backcourt violation.
It is. Was not touched by the Bears. The sixth turnover for Carson-Newman. LR had 9 turnovers in the first quarter.
Yeah, and as I was saying, the pace of game was so fast in that first quarter. That's not going to be LR's game to keep up. Lenoir-Rhyne needs to keep rebounding because they are getting out-rebounded right now, 10-8, or 8-10.
Dillinger pivots. A lot of good footwork there, but she can't finish. Taylor the rebound. Over 7.5 rebounds a game for her. Boshears, who had the first 2 buckets of the game for Carson-Newman from that side of the floor, 32 in blue, gives it over to Weichel, who misses the three, never had a chance as Harmon looks to push. The ball gets tipped out, and Harmon's floater is pure again. She's knocking those down consistently here today. She's already got 14 points in the first half, and a travel there by Boshears before the contact, they say, so another turnover for Carson-Newman. Good little two-person game there as Harmon got the ball poked away to Stoll, and then Stoll gave it right back to her there on the Spangler replay.
Yeah, both teams about even in turnovers right now, but Lenoir-Rhyne needs to clean that up, take care of the ball.
Dillinger thought about it, decided to drive, got stripped, and back to Carson-Newman as the ball last touched Dillinger. But Eagles haven't scored in over 3 minutes all of a sudden when they couldn't be stopped in the middle part of that first quarter.
Yeah, Dillinger's been having a pretty tough game so far. She's got 4 of the 10 turnovers for LR, and she's 0 for 4 from the field.
Bird on the drive. Into the chest of Lindstrom and up and in. Good drive there by Addison Bird, the senior from Nashville. Been to the NCAA tournament in every year of her career at Carson-Newman. Harmon tiptoes the baseline. Dillinger the long 2, off the heel. Lancetal tips the offensive rebound back to Crooks, who also misses, but another offensive rebound for Lancetal. And back to back to Carson-Newman, pardon me. Looked like she got fouled. But
Harmon was wide open beyond the arc.
Going back to Maddie Dillinger, though, this is her first game back, and it's been almost a month for her. You know, the rest of the Bears had 23 days off, so probably a little bit of game rust for Maddie Dillinger, which is completely understandable. Taylor into the chest of Dillinger with the left hand, strong off the glass. Taylor, who leads the sack and field goal percentage at 63%, gets most of her buckets right around the rim. Lidstrom off the screen. She was in double figures at Carson-Newman as we have a foul on the drive on the Eagles. But Tilda, the freshman from Sweden, had a career-high 14 points on the road up in Jefferson City the first time these two met about a month and a half ago. 15-point win for the Eagles that night. Bears just couldn't get enough stops that night to make it interesting at the end. Crooks right in the middle of the lane off the feed from Harmon.
It's going to be her first points on the board and only the third Bear to score in this game.
Yeah, the first 2 for LR as Penland rattles that one in. But, yeah, you mentioned it. That's the first bucket by someone not named Emily Harmon or Brandy Hudson. There's another turnover. Carson-Newman's press has been very effective here in the first half as there was a foul. Wow, that looked like a travel there on Skylar Boshears, but they say foul. And Graham Smith is understandably frustrated with the officials. I would be too if I were him. Take a look at the Spangler replay. Gosh, there's not a whole lot there.
Yeah, the only thing they could have called was she took a step forward, and that would be on the Bears. But yeah, keeping this ball with the Eagles, it's going to be so tough. They're shooting 54% from the field, only 2 for 8 from beyond the arc, though. So protecting the inside and not letting them get down low like this.
Good shot fake from Bird to get her defender in the air. And Addison's got another. She's got 8 points here in the first half on 4 of 5 shooting. Behind the back dribble for Crooks. Gets surrounded. And they kick it back out as Harmon will reset.
I was expecting Lindstrom to pull it there, but Bears need to slow this game down, run their offense.
Harmon, her patented behind the back dribble. Pivots. Great feed to Lidstrom on a great cut. And another assist for Emily Harmon. Bears hanging around, down just 7 here with 5.5 to go in the first half. Weichel, who hasn't scored here in the second quarter after 13 first quarter points, another run out for Harmon. Her third turnover for touchdown here in the first half, and she's got 16 points.
Yeah, 4 steals on the day, too. That's taking care of business early in this first half.
Open look for Bird on the left wing, and she buries it.
Yeah, Carson-Newman is able just to respond so well. And from beyond the three-point line, that's going to be so tough for the Bears to come back.
That ball looked like it touched Carson-Newman, and they give it back to the Eagles as we hit the media timeout with Carson-Newman up 8 here inside the shoe on the Bears Sports Network.
Paramount Kia in Hickory. We want to see you driving a new Kia or, hey, a quality pre-owned Kia. We've got a huge selection of new and pre-owned Kias. You got to get to Paramount Kia in Hickory, Highway 70, ParamountKia.com.
Moret Stadium is an iconic part of LR Athletics, hosting games, tailgating, marching band competitions, sports camps, and graduation ceremonies. The stadium serves as a valued focal point for the greater Hickory area. The time has come to renovate the stadium to allow LR to continue to offer our student athletes, fans, and the community an exceptional experience.
Back here inside the shoe, 8-point lead for Carson-Newman over Lenoir-Rhyne. Just under 5 to go in the first half here on the Bears Sports Network. Eric Bach, Chris Rickenbaugh. Grateful you are along with us on this January Saturday afternoon. A big snowstorm expected tonight and into tomorrow. Almost 8 to 12 inches of snow expected here in the Hickory area as Bird turns around and knocks it down. She's just so smooth on offense. She's into double figures now for Carson-Newman. Her and Weichel both with 13 first-half points. Open look for Harmon at the top of the circle, and she is on fire here in the first half. 18 points for Emily Harmon, 9 of 10 from the field.
Yeah, Harmon is really keeping the Bears in this game. With Carson-Newman shooting so well in the second half, they're shooting 85% from the field in the second quarter, and they're 1 for 2 from beyond the arc.
Both teams over 50% from the field. Eagles at 59%, Bears at 54%. Eagles off the inbound. Bird feeds it to Weichel, cutting back door. She goes up strong into the chest of her defender, grabs her own miss, misses again. Ball's tipped around, and there's a rebounding foul on Addison Bird going through the back of the LR player. That's just her first, and the first on Carson-Newman here in the second quarter.
Believe it or not, those were the 2 misses out of 3 in this whole quarter.
Tatum McBride, who started the game, back in for the Bears. She's got the basketball there on the wing. Stoll will take the three, and Bird clears the rebound. Hannah had a couple of threes on Wednesday night in her first action for the Bears. Her third school of her college basketball career. Started her career at Coker, where she was on the All-SAC freshman team for the Cobras. Weichel's straightaway three is bottoms. 16 points in the first half for Weichel.
Yeah,
and every time the Bears seem to cut into the lead a little bit, Carson-Newman has the answer. As the ball is kept in bounds there, LR has to hurry, and then there's a foul way away from the basket on Abby Wilson, senior from Kingston, Tennessee. Stillinger comes back in.
Yeah, Harmon, 18 points, 9 for 10 from the field, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 steals. And our head-to-head matchup between her and Weichel.
It's lived up to the billing, hasn't it?
Yeah, 16 points, 3 for 5 from beyond the arc, a rebound and 3 assists and 2 steals. Pretty similar stats.
Weichel second in the sack and scoring at 19.5 per game, and she's going to crush that number today with already 16 here in the first half. Dillinger on the block. Gets doubled. Doesn't matter. Gets into the lane, and the scoop shot is off the glass and in.
Yeah, that's the shot that's been getting her in trouble a little bit. The ball is easier to get swatted down there. Wow, another 3.
Barely grazes the rim there from Penland. Bears with numbers now. Harmon, stutter step. What a move. Missed the shot. Dillinger doesn't miss the shot. Looked like she got fouled. No call.
Yeah,
this officiating has been unbelievable in this first half.
Yeah, Graham Smith is livid down here.
Taylor powers through 2 defenders and lays it in. McBride traveled there as she didn't put the ball down in time. 13th turnover of this first half for the Bears. That is not a number that's going to win you a lot of games, especially against a team of the caliber of Carson-Newman.
Yeah, Carson-Newman with 8 turnovers themselves, but they're just shooting so efficiently that it's going to be so hard to keep up with. That was almost a kick ball by Lynn Seidel.
Taylor, she's just too big and strong.
Yeah.
When she gets to that spot on the block, it's basically game over.
Yeah, the 6'3" senior.
Stole an open 3. Left it short, gets her own miss, gets to the rim, and the ball ripped away, and then a foul called on Dillinger. Stoll probably should have just taken that second shot there and opted to go into the lane with the trees there in the Carson-Newman front court and did not fare very well.
Yeah, you could see she thought about it, but decided to pull it back, and then she was staring straight at a wall, falling back. So not a whole lot of options.
Got a little halftime entertainment coming up for you as well because of the limited fan capacity. Trying to bring the fan experience back to you at home. Taylor takes a longer jumper this time as it spins out. Stoll fights for and wins the rebound. And a foul called on Carson-Newman on Michaela Alvey, who wears number 12 at home, but number 1 on the road. Apparently they don't have a 12 navy blue jersey.
You could just put some blue duct tape on it.
Put some orange duct tape, little 2 next to the 1. 13-point lead for Carson-Newman, just over a minute to go before halftime. Feels like it's got to be a bucket on this possession for the Bears. They feed Dillinger. Spinning and fading away, but too strong on the shot. Through some contact.
Hey, Graham Smith was looking for a foul, but
good luck getting one of those called. Smith. Mike Mincy trying to call timeout and does get a timeout called. With 27.2 to go before halftime and 14 on the shot clock. But you said it, Chris, earlier. This second quarter for Carson-Newman, they're 9 for 14 from the field. Bears are 6 for 16, which isn't terrible, but hasn't been enough to cut into this lead anymore that has ballooned up to 13 for the Eagles.
Yeah, something that has normally played well or in the Bears' favor is putting them on the free throw line, but they've had 0 trips to the free throw line today.
And that was such a key that Graham Smith said to me. Carson-Newman shot 27 free throws in their first meeting, and they've shot only one free throw here in the first half, but he said that was a key, that the Bears have to get to the free throw line themselves, and they haven't even once here in the first half.
Yeah, and that's probably the biggest deficit, because the Bears, they're 76% from the free throw line and 13 points per game, and that's the deficit right now.
Yep. That's a good point. Harmon tips that one out of bounds with 6 to shoot for the Eagles, but the Bears now have gone scoreless in the last 2.5 minutes. Neither team has scored very much in the past couple of minutes of game action as Weichel drives past her defender and stepped out of bounds.
Yeah, both teams shooting relatively close from the field. LR 47%, and then the Eagles 56%. But the biggest thing that we're seeing right now is from beyond the arc. Carson-Newman has 4 3-pointers to LR's none.
Shot clock turned off. Basketball in Emily Harmon's hands. She goes between 2 defenders and an offensive foul called.
Yeah, she can't really argue that one. That's going to get called.
Good help side defense there from Carson-Newman, but Harmon probably needed to give that ball up with all those defenders around. So a chance for the Eagles with 4.5 seconds to go. And here they come. Weichel, floater at the buzzer off the heel. And that is how the first half ends. Despite 18 first half points from Emily Harmon, the Bears trail by 13 at the half as Carson-Newman shoots 54% from the floor in the first half. Got a pair of Eagles in double figures in Weichel and Bird. So all in all, if you're Mike Mincy, you can't really complain about that first half on the road.
Yeah, going to be pretty tough, but going into the second half, we've already highlighted what LR needs to get done, get put on the free throw line, and limit turnovers and get those second chance points that they're really struggling with.
So now it's time for tonight's Domino free throws contest here at halftime. We've got James in the red hat that you're looking at there, facing off with Tony in the gray hat on the other end. They'll be facing off to see who can make the most free throws in 30 seconds. And the winner gets 3 free Domino's pizzas. I think Tony on the other end is, here you see Tony, he's pulling away. James just doesn't have his shot today as he fades away on the last one, but I think Tony's the winner. So Tony's going to take home 3 Domino's pizzas. LR students, don't forget you can use your Bear Bucks at the Domino's location on 127. Domino's Pizza, a proud sponsor of Lenoir-Rhyne Athletics. 13-point lead for Carson-Newman over the Bears as we've reached the halfway point here inside Schuford Gymnasium on the Bears Sports Network, presented by MBA Roofing.
Hometown Ticketing makes it fast and easy to buy tickets on your school's website or in the new Hometown Fan app. It's simple. Just search for your school, buy your tickets, and they'll be right there in your account, ready to be scanned when you get to your event. Download the Hometown Fan app today.
Everything the light touches will be yours. You must remember who you are. The one true champion. We are LR.
We are.
We are.
We are.
We are.
We are LR. We are LR.
If you play hard, if you use your feet to chase fitness goals, if you stand all day at work, introducing True Energy infrared technology socks. These may be the best socks you ever wear. Our yarn is infused with infrared nanoparticles. Your body's natural heat ignites these tiny particles, producing infrared energy that improves circulation and stimulates cellular recovery. It's not magic, it's rocket science. The perfect sock for your active life, for fitness, performance, recovery. Proven innovation to ignite your true energy.
Paramount Kia in Hickory. We want to see you driving a new Kia or, hey, a quality pre-owned Kia. We've got a huge selection of new and pre-owned Kias. You got to get to Paramount Kia in Hickory, Highway 70, ParamountKia.com.
Moret Stadium is an iconic part of LR athletics, hosting games, tailgating, marching band competitions, sports camps, and graduation ceremonies. The stadium serves as a valued focal point for the greater Hickory area. The time has come to renovate the stadium to allow LR to continue to offer our student athletes, fans, and the community an exceptional experience.
Hey Bears fans, Dave here with Everett Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac, your local hometown dealer since 1967. Come see us in Hickory or Morganton to check out all of GM's hottest new products, the area's largest selection of pre-owned vehicles, and service you can depend on. Visit us online at everettchevy.com. Good luck to the Bears this season, and remember, if you didn't get an Everett deal, you didn't get a deal at all. Go Bears!
Emergencies don't wait. Get to the hospital. Accidents happen. Get well soon. When it hurts to move forward, tackle your pain. Don't make your health wait. See your doctor. Your health means everything.
Celebrate great with Carolina West Wireless. Great new phones and a great customer experience, all on our great nationwide high-speed network. Stop by today and get big savings on select Samsung smartphones, like $350 off the Samsung Galaxy S20 and S20 Plus, and $350 off the Note 20 and Note 20 Ultra. The great savings continue with 4 lines of unlimited data for just $35 a month per line. Celebrate great savings and go stay connected wherever your travels take you.
Excellence, integrity, care, curiosity. These are the values that define who we are. A community of thinkers, competitors, and achievers passionately pursuing the path of a purpose-driven life. Because at Lenoir-Rhyne University, we are called to greatness. We are LR.
This once-in-a-generation project will give student-athletes an advantage and position Lenoir-Rhyne as a leader in academics and athletics.
Bears were very productive off these inbound plays as Harmon swishes her first jumper of the night. Good for her to see the first one go down after she struggled shooting the ball on Wednesday night. A baseline inbound play. And a steal for Harmon out of the top of the zone. Emily coast to coast drops it in off the glass.
Yeah, 2 steals on Wednesday, already off to 1 early.
Just said it's a cliche to say as Harmon grabs another steal and another bucket. So 2 run-out layups for Emily Harmon, and she's got 6 of the Bear 8 here. Open look for Harmon at the top of the circle, and she is on fire here in the first half. 18 points for Emily Harmon, 9 of 10 from the field.
Yeah, Harmon is really keeping the Bears in this game.
Crush that number today with already 16 here in the first half. Dillinger on the block. Gets doubled. Doesn't matter. Gets into the lane. And the scoop shot is off the glass and in.
Yeah, that's the shot that's been getting her in trouble a little bit. The ball.
About 3 minutes before the second half rolls here inside Schufer Gymnasium as we take a look at our halftime stats presented by East Coast Wings and Grill. Both teams shot the ball really well, but Chris, I think maybe the most important factor of this game so far is that bottom line there, the turnovers.
Yeah, absolutely, the turnovers, 14-9. That is a pretty big difference, but what you don't see on the stat sheet, obviously the 54% and just about 47%, that's really, really close. So it looks like a really close game on the stat sheet until you start looking at the 3 points. So the Eagles have 4 3-pointers compared to LR 0, and that's 12 points, and that's just another one, and that's the deficit right now for the Bears. But just struggling inside, and we saw in the first quarter and early in the second quarter that the game pace got really, really fast. It almost looked like a track meet in here. And then that's where we saw Emily Harmon really step up. 18 points, shooting 9 for 11 from the field, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 steals. Having a really, really good day so far, and that was our matchup going in, along with Weichel, who's got 16 points, a rebound, 3 assists, and 2 steals as well. So those stats are really similar. But probably the biggest difference is that Emily Harmon has 18, Hudson has 6, and then there's 3 Bears with 2 points, where on the Carson-Newman side, there's Weichel with 16, Bird with 13, and then there's 5 other players over 2 points. There's 6 points and 4 points. We're just not seeing the whole Bears team come together and put points on the board. Emily Harmon has been the star so far, but if they want to win this game, either she's going to have to step up or the whole team is going to have to come together, put points on the board, create separation to get those shots off.
It's got to be defensively, too. I mean, Carson-Newman shoots 54% in the first half and basically got a lot of really good looks, especially in that zone defense. Halftime stats presented by East Coast Wings and Grill. There's Braylon Weichel, the reigning SAC Player of the Year. I mean, the numbers kind of speak for themselves. She averages 19.5 points per game and obviously well on track to surpass that today. We know who she is for sure, and Emily Harmon has matched her shot for shot, at least so far in the first half.
Yeah, and I think for the Eagles that Weichel doesn't have to have those stats for the Eagles to be a really good team or win the game. There's a couple different players that they have that can step up and put points on the board, and it can be a collective team win. And unlike today, the Bears, we've had to see Harmon just really step up and put points on the board for them to be competitive against this really tough Carson-Newman team.
Bears also down a couple players from Wednesday. Hannah McClung and Mallory Sherrill both are unavailable today. Non-COVID reasons for both of them. But those are 2 key contributors from Wednesday's game that are not here today. Obviously, Lidstrom and Dillinger were missing from Wednesday's game. So the Bears have yet to be at full strength ever since the 23-day pause. But they get the first possession of the second half here. And we'll try to cut into this 13-point lead for Carson-Newman. Hudson. Lansettle gets a step. Gives it back to Hudson. Good set there from the Bears on the first possession of the second half.
Yeah, and something that we've seen from the Bears, they come out and play really well in the first quarter, and they play well in the third quarter. So how can they close this lead down and then make it a battle in the fourth?
Lindsay Taylor spins. Doesn't get the roll off the front iron. Taylor had 6 points in the first half. That's her first miss of the night. Now Hudson the other way will head to the free throw line. That was one thing the Bears didn't do at all in the first half, was get to the line as Taylor called for the foul. And Brandy will shoot 2. Take a look at the Smangler replay. Hudson 67% from the free throw line. 5 for 8 on Wednesday night, but those 3 misses were kind of late in the game when the Bears needed them.
Yeah, and like we talked about heading into halftime, what did the Bears need to do? Get on the free throw line. They've been averaging 13 points per game from the line, and we just saw 2 right there, and now that's cut down the lead to 10. It's 9, excuse me.
Your math brain is still on Christmas break.
Oh, it just didn't update on the board yet.
Taylor. Boshears, who had a good start to the game on offense, made the first 3 buckets for Carson-Newman. Here she is here. And now Bird, the other Eagle in double figures, rims out the three, but Taylor runs down the rebound. And her pass is tipped and intercepted by Lancetal, who almost carried the ball, but here she comes. Great feed to Hudson with the left hand.
Yeah, Hudson is, we saw her really early in that first quarter put 6 points up, and now she's back and she's put 6 points up really early in the third. I think she sat most of the game because of those two fouls.
Yep. Bird off the screen, elbow jumper off left iron. Harmon skies for the rebound. Emily averages over 7 rebounds a game too. Hudson again, and one. What a start to the second half for the Bears and Brandy Hudson.
Yeah, that's got this Bears bench up on their feet right now, getting really excited, closing down and on the line for a couple more points.
Mike Mincy makes a line change as he brings in 4 new players. Weichel, the only Eagle that stays. But a quick little 8-0 spurt for the Bears. But Carson-Newman, going back to the first half, hasn't scored in over 3.5 minutes in this game. Hudson just made 2 free throws and buries that one to complete the 3-point play and cut the lead down to 4. So the first 9 of the second half to the Bears. It's exactly the start you wanted out of the locker room if you're Graham Smith. Weichel tries to end that streak and does. You know you need a bucket. Go to Weichel. Now Hudson again the other way. Too strong off the glass, gets it back, and too strong again.
Yeah, a little too confident in those shots, just kind of throwing them up at the board.
Behind the back is Smith, dumps it off. Great feed there to Sydney Pierce for the layup, but that play was made by Harley Smith.
Yeah, Lancetal just missed getting her hands on it. She might have actually got a fingertip on it, but yeah, the height's going to win every time. And just how we talked about Lenoir-Rhyne closing down that lead and Carson-Newman just being able to pull it right back.
Dillinger off the heel, rebound fought for, and will stay with LR off of Michaela Alvey under the basket. So a good effort play there by Blakely Crooks to keep the possession alive for the Bears and a fresh 20 on the shot clock. Bears had a lot of success in the first half off of out-of-bounds plays. Hudson picks up her dribble and just has to give it back to Lancetal, who then turns it over. 15 turnovers for the Bears. Smith spins down the lane line with the left hand, just short. Dillinger skies for the rebound. Emily Harmon played all 40 minutes on Wednesday night against Wise. That was the first time she's done that all season. She hasn't left the floor today. For good reason. Buries a 3 straight away.
21 points on the board, 6 rebounds, 5 assists.
And a foul on Crooks there as Alvey.
Oh. Yeah,
I think that was a good call on Crooks. She kind of undercut her there as Alvey jumped up for the shot.
Yeah, she knew it right away. But putting the Eagles on the free throw line, they're 72% on the year.
But the goal today was to keep him off the free throw line, and for the most part, that was only Carson-Newman's second free throw attempt of the game. The Bears have accomplished that goal after the Eagles shot 27 times from the foul line in the first meeting, as Alvey, the freshman from Dandridge, Tennessee, transferred in from Lipscomb. She splits the pair. The lead is 6 for the Eagles. Harmon looking for Hudson, who gets doubled. And now gets it right back to Emily. Crooks cutting back door, pivots, fades, off the glass. What a nifty move there from Blakely Crooks.
Yeah, that almost looked like a spike against the backboard, but it rattled around.
Open 3 for Abby Wilson. Off the heel, rebound bounced way up in the air, and Hudson grabs it. Harmon doesn't have the numbers. Will take it to the rim anyway. Just a touch too strong off the glass. Alvey runs down the rebound and loses it out of bounds back to the Bears.
Yeah, 2 very different teams on the court right now. You can see Carson-Newman is that shooting team. They look very, very confident in their shots and creating that space and even under pressure. And you see Lenoir-Rhyne really having to drive in and take those, like almost throwing it right at the backboard. for it to go down, but it just looks a little bit rushed.
Lancetal was known as a shooter when she came in. Doesn't take that shot. Hudson will, and will miss it. Dillinger fights for the rebound, but can't grab it. Here come the Eagles. Weichel running the break. Takes an elbow jump shot that spins out, and up and down we go. Harmon the other way. Stops and starts. Floater too short, but she's able to grab the offensive rebound. Give it right back to Hudson, who gets blocked. Sydney Pierce was ready for the challenge there.
I believe that's why she came into the game.
Weichel wide open. Swish. What a big momentum turn there for Carson-Newman, as it looked like the Bears would be able to cut this down to one possession. Pierce gets the block. Weichel gets the three at the other end.
Yeah, and our player matchup for the game, 21 points even.
Yeah, Emily Harmon with the basketball with 21. Weichel also with 21. Harmon almost traveled, gives it off to Hudson. Open three for Crooks from the corner. That spins down and in.
Yeah, really good answer by the Bears. We haven't seen that all game. That's the first three for the Bears.
Only the fourth three on the season for Blakely Crooks. Wilson answers for Carson-Newman.
Yeah,
played in all 15 games as Abby Wilson, but just under 3 points per game. One of those young role players for Mike Mincy. What an exciting third quarter we've had here. Crooks just made a three, takes a long two. And the rebound to Campbell Penland. Penland, nobody stopped the ball. Penland got blocked by Dillinger. She got close to the rim. Harmon bounce pass, tried to thread the needle to Crooks and did not, as Dillinger gets whistled for the foul, reaching in there. Just the second on the Bears in this quarter. And the second on Maddie Dillinger. But the Bears hanging right around here with the reigning SAC champs inside the shoe. A 6-point Carson-Newman lead as we've reached the media timeout here in the third quarter on the Bears Sports Network, presented by MBA Roofing.
Paramount Kia in Hickory. We want to see you driving a new Kia or, hey, a quality pre-owned Kia. We've got a huge selection of new and pre-owned Kias. You got to get to Paramount Kia in Hickory, Highway 70, ParamountKia.com.
Moret Stadium is an iconic part of LR Athletics, hosting games, tailgating, marching band competitions, sports camps, and graduation ceremonies. The stadium serves as a valued focal point for the greater Hickory area. The time has come to renovate the stadium to allow LR to continue to offer our student athletes, fans, and the community an exceptional experience.
Got a little bit of atmosphere here inside the shoe. LR students who have received their booster shot can attend, along with family and guests of the players, making a little bit of noise for good reason for their Bears. Down just 6 to Carson-Newman. Played well here in this third quarter offensively, led by Emily Harmon with 21 points, with Brandy Hudson following up her 27-point outing on Wednesday night with 15 more here in the middle of the third quarter. Eagle basketball out of the timeout. Weichel bothered by Hudson. Bird stripped by Hudson. She had 4 steals on Wednesday, but wisely gives this up to Hudson, but turns it over. Just sloppy there from the Bears. 18 turnovers now. Weichel in the lane, slicing, and misses the shot as Stahl grabs the rebound, and Harmon gets fouled by Penland. The third on Carson-Newman here in the third quarter, and the first on Campbell Penland.
Yeah, this is the lowest shooting percentage of the game so far from the Eagles, 33% in the third quarter compared to the first and second, where they had 50% and 60%. So just a little bit off, but Lenoir-Rhyne's really been taking it to them and putting up a challenge.
Stahl on the wing. Been a little bit quiet compared to her debut. Harmon cutting off the heel with the floater. Weichel gets a screen, doesn't need much space to knock that down. A long 2 for Braylon. She's got 23 for the game, which is the exact number of points she had the first time these two met back in early December.
Yeah, shooting over season average, that's 19 points per game.
Boshiers in the middle of the lane gets the teardrop to fall. And now it's a little 8-0 burst for Carson-Newman to open the lead back up to 10. Bears haven't scored in 2.5 minutes, and they almost turn it over there as Penland tips that one out of bounds right near the half-court stripe. Tilda Lindstrom will come back in for LR.
Yeah, Emily Harmon doing a lot for this Bears team, but she needs just a little bit of help shooting. We've seen Hudson put up 15 points in the game, having a really good day, but just from the other players on the court, it's just they're not contributing to a lot to the scoreboard.
See if Lancelow can change that. She sure can. Nothing but net on the 3.
It's what the Bears need right now, points on the board.
Stahl almost grabbed the steal. Penland stripped, kicks it out. Weichel wide open. The answer. She has been unbelievable today.
Yeah, that's so hard to compete with a team that's just shooting so well. 6 for 15 from beyond the arc for the Eagles.
Stahl one dribble, gets blocked by Penland. 4 block shots in the game for Carson-Newman. It feels like a lot more. Heat check for Weichel. Offensive rebound. Bird the reverse. How did she get that one to drop in?
Yeah, that was definitely up near the shot clock, but she got it to roll down.
Cross-court pass tipped by Penland again. Bears are out-rebounding Carson-Newman 30-23 here in this game, but the Eagles from the outside are just shooting the lights out right now. Their lead is 12, 62-50 with less than a minute to go in the third quarter. We'll take a short break on the Bears Sports Network, presented by MBA Roofing.
Hey Bears fans, Dave here with Everett Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac, your local hometown dealer since 1967. Come see us in Hickory or Morganton to check out all of GM's hottest new products, the area's largest selection of pre-owned vehicles, and service you can depend on. Visit us online at everettchevy.com. Good luck to the Bears this season, and remember, if you didn't get an Everett deal, you didn't get a deal at all. Go Bears!
Emergencies don't wait. Get to the hospital. Accidents happen. Get well soon. When it hurts to move forward, tackle your pain. Don't make your health wait. See your doctor. Your health means everything.
Third quarter presented by Pepsi of Hickory, locally owned and operated since 1925. Thank you for filling your coolers with Pepsi this fall and winter. Thank you for allowing us to serve you all these years. Pepsi, born in the Carolinas, raised in Hickory. Last minute of the third quarter starts with a foul on Lindsey Taylor of Carson-Newman, knocking Hudson off her spot. The 4th foul on the Eagles of this quarter, and 3rd on Lindsey Taylor. Stahl, just her 2nd game in the red and white. Lindstrom, a short corner jumper, gets the roll off the glass. Bears needed that one. Bird, a wide open 3, spins out. That was Lucky there for the Bears as Stoll gets tied up and the ball will go back to Carson-Newman.
Yeah, they're just giving way too much space for the Eagles to shoot. But the problem is the Eagles can shoot anywhere. They're shooting beyond the arc, down inside, from right around the free throw line, the elbows. I mean, they can shoot anywhere.
Penland working against Hudson. 14 on 14, and the Eagle, number 14, wins that battle. Back to 12. 10 seconds to go. Lidstrom gets swiped. The pass is too strong, but tipped out of bounds by Harmon, and it'll stay with Carson-Newman with 1.8 on the third quarter clock. See if the Eagles can beat the buzzer. Weichel, long two, got partially blocked, I think. And that will end the third quarter. It was a 13-point deficit at halftime for the Bears. And even though they shoot almost 50% in the third quarter, they only gain 1 point on the scoreboard. They trail Carson-Newman by 12, 64-52 after 3, trying to pull off an upset here at home and inside the shoe on the Bears Sports Network.
Everything the light touches will be yours. You must remember who you are. The one true champion. We are LR.
We are.
We are.
We are.
We are.
We are LR. We are LR.
Fourth quarter here inside the shoe. 12-point lead for Carson-Newman over Lenoir-Rhyne in the 80th meeting between these two longtime SAC rivals. Bears trying to mount a comeback and win their first game of 2022. Tilda Lindstrom, a step back three, finds the bottom, and it's back to single digits.
Yeah, 10 minutes to get this game close. The Bears had a really, really good third quarter. They just need to carry it into the fourth. But the really tough thing is Carson-Newman is just able to respond so well.
Case in
just
point,
like
Boshears rolls that one in. But I think you said it, that's the key. Every time the Bears have had a run, Carson-Newman has answered it here today. At least thus far, through 3 quarters and 1 minute.
Yeah, the Bears got the lead down to 6 in the third quarter.
Got it down to 4, I think.
Yeah, and they just closed right back, or
Hudson
put it right back up.
Full head of steam, got past 3 defenders and dropped it in. 17 points for Brandy. The problem is, outside of Hudson and Harmon, Bears have only combined for 17 points. Boshears will head to the free throw line as Stoll gets whistled for the foul. Skyler, the junior from La Follette, Tennessee, transferred into Carson-Newman from Furman. D1, 78% from the foul line this year. I mean, the Bears have made 4 out of their last 5 shots. But they just haven't been able to cut into this lead because Carson-Newman has shot it equally as well.
Yeah, and they just a couple more for 3-point shots on the Eagles side and just a little bit better shooting percentage, and that's where we're seeing that gap. Both teams, not a lot of trips to the free throw line, and I don't think we're going to really see that change here in the last 8.5 minutes. It's going to be really, really tough for the Bears unless they get up on a huge shooting spree.
off the three-point miss. Tilda Lidstrom gets fouled on the rebound by Campbell Penland. That's just the first on Carson-Newman here in the fourth quarter. Second on Campbell. Lancettle off the screen. Misses the jumper short. Weichel the rebound. Weichel doubled, able to feed it into Pierce, who gets it over to Boshears, who had tons of room there in the middle. Hudson, that looked like her arm got grabbed on the rebound, but no call. And now a timeout for Mike Mincy, as that possession was completely out of sorts for Carson-Newman. And the Eagles take one with 8:08 to go here in this one. We'll see if it's a full or a 30. It is a full timeout, so we'll step aside. 11-point lead for the Eagles over the Bears on the Bears Sports Network.
Celebrate great with Carolina West Wireless. Great new phones and a great customer experience, all on our great nationwide high-speed network. Stop by today and get big savings on select Samsung smartphones, like $350 off the Samsung Galaxy S20 and S20 Plus, and $350 off the Note 20 and Note 20 Ultra. The great savings continue with 4 lines of unlimited data for just $35 a month per line. Celebrate great savings and go stay connected wherever your travels take you.
Fourth quarter presented by Carolina West Wireless. Fastest speeds, national 4G LTE coverage at a hometown price. Carolina West Wireless is proud to be the official wireless partner of the Bears. Out of the timeout, Carson-Newman gets an open three for Weichel. A rare miss for her. And now here come the Bears. Harmon feeds Hudson in the post, gets blocked by Pierce. She is just an eraser around the rim for Carson-Newman. Don't forget, we got the men's game coming up about 25 minutes after the conclusion of this one. LR men's team trying to build a winning streak after they won on Wednesday night. Pierce, deep catch, easy two.
Yeah, looking at the stat board, everything looks really, really similar. Lenoir-Rhyne's got a couple more offensive rebounds, but defensive rebounds, it's just about even. The biggest difference is the points off turnovers that Carson-Newman's has 17 compared to LR's 8.
Dillinger fouled after she might have gotten dizzy after all that spinning in the lane, but she will head to the free throw line as Bird gets called for the foul. That's her third, the team's second of this fourth quarter. And Maddie, 76% free throw shooter this season. Swishes the first. She has exceeded expectations this year in her freshman year out of Waxhaw, North Carolina for Graham Smith. Expected her maybe to be a contributing role player, but she has turned into one of the starters in the front court and the leading rebounder on this team. So ahead of schedule is Maddie Dillinger. They throw it overhead this time to Pierce, who is too strong off the glass. Bird right there. She misses, but Lancettle tipped it out of bounds, and it will stay with the Eagles.
Yeah, one thing for Lenoir-Rhyne, they might be out-rebounding, but it just hasn't led to those second-chance points.
Yeah, Bears have more offensive rebounds in this game than Carson-Newman does, but you said it, the points off turnovers are the key. And back to Carson-Newman, I think Lancettle dribbled that one off her foot. But even if the Bears cut their turnovers in half and Carson-Newman only gets 8 or 9 points off of turnovers, we're talking about a different type of deficit right now at this juncture in the game.
For sure. The Eagles have just shot so well, but they've been shooting well all season that it's going to be so tough to compete unless whoever they're playing is just shooting really well, which the Bears have done a really, really good job today.
Lefty Harley Smith from the circle buries that 18-footer. And it's back to 13. It's just the lead has hovered between 9 and 13 here for most of the second half, and the Bears just up to this point have not been able to cut into it. Lidstrom looks for Hudson. Taylor leaning on her. Lidstrom airballs the shot, and Weichel runs it down in the corner.
Haven't seen a whole lot of Emily Harmon in probably about the past 10 minutes.
Yeah, Emily, 18 first-half points. And we have a foul on Lancetal right there, I guess. Oh, boy.
Yeah, Graham Smith, not happy today.
And I don't blame him one bit. He's keeping it together better than most people would in that situation, I think, though, to his credit.
Absolutely.
Weichel off the bounce, gets a step, short corner Jay off the front iron. Rebound to Hudson. Here come the Bears. Got to have a bucket here. Harmon spinning, got ripped, and then a held ball called back to Carson-Newman. Take a look at the Spangler replay, and we'll see if this was correctly called or a foul. Looks like a lot of ball to me. Taylor gets a step. Just nearly missed the and one as Dillinger hacked her on the arm.
Five and a half minutes left. This is the part of the game that if Lenoir-Rhyne is going to make any sort of comeback, it needs to start happening within this next minute or two. Otherwise, it's going to be a scramble. But Carson-Newman, like we've said all game, have just been able to respond to everything the Bears have done.
Taylor with 2 flat free throws. She's only a 54% shooter from the foul line, but makes both of those, and this is the largest lead of the entire half for Carson-Newman at 15. Harmon, Lancetal, Lidstrom, a corner three. She's got another. She's got a three from both corners here in the second half. Bears needed that one desperately. See if they can get a stop on this end. Back cutting is Wilson. Got a defender in the air on the shot fake. And every time the Bears have had a bucket tonight, it's been answered by Carson-Newman. And there's another turnover, number 21 of the game for LR. 7 of them by Harmon.
Yeah, with 21 turnovers in this game for LR, that's over their average of 18 on the season.
Blakely Crooks comes back in with 4.5 to go. You said it, Chris. If it doesn't happen in the next minute or so, I'm not sure there's just enough time. Taylor, short, gets it back, and will head to the free throw line. But those second chance opportunities, can't have any of them right now if you're the Bears, as the foul is called on the official signal number 21, but that's Mallory Sherrill. 21, the official said that number 21 committed the foul, and Mallory Sherrill is not even in the building, so I doubt that she committed the foul. It's actually on Tilda Lindstrom.
That would make a little bit more sense.
Officiating is a very hard job, and it's really hard to be good at it, but this has not been a strong day from the crew, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's been really tough. There's been a lot of questionable calls, and more just against LR than anything, or some missed calls, and it's just a really tough job. That's why we're up here.
Dillinger doubled and throws it away. Harmon will try to run it down to avoid the ball out of bounds. And she will, but it'll still be Carson-Newman basketball, so it was the same result with the backcourt violation. Taylor, and an offensive foul. She put her shoulder down into Dillinger there. Good job by Maddie to hold her ground and draw the offensive foul.
Yeah, Maddie's had a really, really tough day. 4 points, 2 for 2 from the free throw line, and 2 rebounds. It's just so tough. She's got really good height under the rim, and I think once she learns to use it as an advantage, we see another steal
Wilson
here.
left it short as Harmon bothered the shot. And Emily gets fouled as she got bumped by Smith as she went flying by. And the best free throw shooter in the SAC will head to the foul line for the first time tonight.
Yeah, Carson-Newman's done a really good job not sending the Bears to the free throw line. I'm sure they're very aware of what Emily Harmon can do from there, as well as the team just shooting really well from the free throw line.
Emily over 90% on the year. She's missed 4 free throws the entire season. She's now 46 for 50 from the foul line this year. Back to 13. Weichel. Open 3 for Wilson on the wing. Off the front iron. Lancettle the rebound.
Yeah, Bears are going to need a couple threes here to put them in contention. That's going to be a lot to ask for. They're 5 for 8 from beyond the arc during the game.
Hudson accelerates and can't get the layup to drop. Carson-Newman hasn't scored in almost 2 minutes, but the Bears have gone cold as well. Outside of the free throws from Harmon, they haven't made a field goal in over 2 minutes as well. Weichel. Harley Smith, the lefty, triggers from in front of her own bench as Lancettle volleyball spikes that one off of Taylor out of bounds and back to Lenoir-Rhyne. Hannah Stull will come back in for the Bears, along with Bo Shears and Penland for the Eagles. Look at the Spangler replay. Look at Lancettle, looking like Taylor Prawl out there. Right off the forehead of Taylor.
Yeah, that's not going to feel good.
No. Not a whole lot of urgency here from the Bears. Harmon's floater spins down.
25 points on the day for Harmon.
She's done all she can. 9 rebounds, 7 assists. She's nearly in triple-double territory here this afternoon. At least 1 rebound away from a double-double. Taylor feeds Penland. Spins through contact up and in. Also 3 steals for Emily Harmon. We saw all 3 of them lead to easy layups in the first half, but Carson-Newman's taking care of the basketball a lot better here in the second. Stull. Contested jumper, and she rattles it in.
Yeah, leads down to 11.
It's Hannah's first points of the day after she had 13 in her LR debut on Wednesday. Back to 11, but a minute to go. Bo Shears Carson-Newman's not letting the foot off the gas at all, but the turnover here. Hudson.
A lot of standing around on the arc.
Too strong. Hudson crossover with nifty move, but she missed the shot. I mean, the Bears need threes at this point, and just haven't gotten enough of them. As now Lancetto gets called for the foul there. That is the 5th foul of the quarter on the Bears, so 2 shots coming for Weichel, who is 86% from the line, not far behind Harmon in that category. But just another day at the office for Braylon Weichel. Now, that was her 27th point right there. 10 of 22 from the field, 5 threes, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals. And she makes it just look effortless.
Yeah, really good day for Weichel. Definitely over her season averages. Came into the game 19 points per game, and she's got 28, 47 rebounds coming into the game, and along with 27 steals. And she's added both.
Acrobatic there for Blakely, and I think that will be the last bucket of the day. So the Bears shoot 45% from the field, perfect from the free throw line, over 50% from 3, and still fall by double digits to Carson-Newman. Just a solid wire-to-wire road win today for the Eagles, who win their 13th game of this 2021-22 season. Really impressive business-like performance today from Mike Mincy and his team as we take a look at we revisit our head-to-head matchup that we talked about before the game. There's Emily Harmon, 25 points. She had that huge game against Anderson, 39 points. That's the most points anyone's ever scored in a game this year in the SAC, but 25, 9, and 7 assists. Nearly missed a double-double, and just a few assists away from a triple-double. And there's Weichel, 28 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals. And she does so many other things that don't even show up on the stat sheet. But
absolutely,
even the stuff that does show up on the stat sheet is pretty darn impressive. So,
yeah, total dominant performance by the Eagles. Shot really well like we expected them to, but Lenoir-Rhyne had a really good game shooting as well, putting up 70 points. That's above their season average for sure. So Lenoir-Rhyne, Harmon, Lindstrom, Hudson all had really good games, and I think if they were playing against anybody else, this would have been a win. So definitely not something to get down on, something to take right into the next game, and you got to take the positives.
The next game is not going to get any easier for the Bears as they travel to the undefeated in conference play Wingate Bulldogs on Wednesday night. As you take a look at the final stats, Carson-Newman ends up shooting 47%. Bears out-rebound the Eagles by 10, but commit 10 more turnovers. And the points off of turnovers, 22 for Carson-Newman, and they win by 11. So there's the difference in the game right there. Post-game stats presented by East Coast Wings and Grill. I actually went to East Coast last night, got some leftovers in the fridge. Looking forward to that after
the mac and cheeseburger from East Coast. I haven't had anything better.
Love it. Bears lose by 11. Men's game coming up in about 25 minutes from inside the shoe. For Chris Rickenbaugh, the rest of our crew, Eric Bach saying so long. Well, we'll just see in a little bit from inside the shoe on the Bears Sports Network.